This is a guided body scan. I find a comfortable position, either sitting in a chair or lying on the floor. I take a few moments to settle in, allowing my body to relax. I gently close my eyes or soften my gaze, letting go of any distractions around me. I allow my body to be fully supported by the surface beneath me. I bring my awareness to the sensations present in my body, whether they arise from my skin or deeper within. This moment is my opportunity to be fully present, to awaken to the sensations that exist within me, just as they are. Some sensations may be pleasant, others unpleasant, and some may be very strong, and some may be just neutral. I may notice that certain areas of my body feel more prominent, while others seem absent of sensation. I acknowledge whatever arises, staying with each moment as it comes. I observe my preferences, the desire to hold on to certain sensations and the desire to push others away instead of reacting, instead of acting on these preferences. I simply allow myself to be with whatever is here. I practice acceptance, safely holding the experience with compassion. As I continue paying attention to my body, I become aware of my breath. I notice how it moves naturally, flowing in and out without effort. I settle my attention on my breath, sensing it in the place where I feel it most vividly, perhaps at my nostrils, perhaps at my mouth, my throat, or the movement of my chest, shoulders, ribs, or belly. I allow my attention to rest gently on this natural rhythm. Now I shift my focus to my abdomen, noticing the rise and fall of my belly with each breath. I gather my attention and gently move it down my left leg, following its full length from my thigh to my knee, down my lower leg to my ankle, and finally to my toes. I become aware of any sensations present in my toes and foot. I notice whether my toes feel warm or cool, moist or dry. Perhaps I sense tingling, pressure, or lightness. I bring a gentle curiosity to whatever I feel in this moment, knowing there is no right or wrong way to experience it. And with my next out breath, I release my focus from my toes and bring my attention to the sole of my left foot, including my heel. I simply notice any sensations that arise. On an out breath, I release my focus from my foot, and on an in breath, I bring my attention to my ankle. I sense the front, the back, the sides, and deep within the joint, simply observing what is present. Now, on my out breath, I move from my left ankle, and with my next in breath, I bring my attention to my left lower leg, the area between my knee and ankle. I become aware of whatever sensations are present here. I sense the length of my lower leg, noticing my calf muscles, my shin. Perhaps my calf is in contact with the floor and I observe any pressure if it is there. I tune into any sensations arising from the surface of my skin, heaviness or lightness, warmth or coolness, dampness or dryness. I gently explore whatever is present in this moment. On my next out breath, I release my focus from my left lower leg and, with my in breath, shift my awareness to my left knee. I sense the front of my knee, the kneecap, the sides, the back, and deep into the joint itself. I notice any feelings of heaviness, relaxation, tension, or ease. Whatever is present, I allow myself to be with it, breathing naturally as I rest my attention here. I may notice that my mind has wandered into a thought, a story, a memory, or a worry. If this happens, I gently recognize where my attention has moved, acknowledging that this is a moment of awareness. This will happen many times, and each time I have the opportunity to gently return my focus to my knee and the physical sensations arising there. In this way, I learn to steady my attention, using the sensations of my body as an anchor to return to the present moment. Now I let go of my focus on my left knee, and with my next in breath, shift my awareness to my left thigh. I notice what is arising in this area, softening into its length. Perhaps I sense heaviness, lightness, warmth, coolness, or tingling. I allow myself to notice any sensations, whether they come from the surface of my skin or from deeper within. I keep a gentle and open curiosity, allowing myself to be aware of whatever is present or absent. If there is not much sensation in this moment, I simply notice that too. As I maintain this awareness of my body, I may become aware of discomfort, an ache, or even pain. If this happens, I acknowledge it gently, observing it and seeing if I can simply return to being present with the physical sensations of my left thigh. With my next out breath, I release my attention from my left thigh, and with my in breath, gently shift my awareness across my lower belly and down into my right leg, all the way to the toes of my right foot. I take my time to become fully aware of this part of my body, sensing all five toes from my big toe to the smallest one. I allow myself to simply be present, noticing the nails, the nail beds, the space between my toes, or even the sensation of my toes touching one another. On my out breath, I release my awareness of my toes, and with my next in breath, bring my attention to the sole and heel of my right foot. I remain curious about any sensations arising from this part of my body. I simply pay attention, allowing myself to be present in this moment. With my next out breath, I let go of the sole and heel of my right foot and shift my focus to the full length and width of my foot as it rests here. I notice any sensations and explore them with gentle awareness. I release my focus on my right foot and, with an inhalation, bring my attention to my right ankle. I notice the front of my ankle, the sides, the back, and deep into the joint. I allow for all sensations, observing whatever arises. As my body settles, I may notice thoughts appearing in my mind. If this happens, I recognize the thought and then return my attention to the part of my body I was last holding in awareness. In this way, I practice letting go of getting caught up in thoughts, learning to use my body and breath as an anchor, a way to return to the present moment. With my next out breath, I release my right ankle and move my attention, along with my breath, to my lower leg. I notice the length of this part of my body, the shin, the sides, and the calf. I hold the part of my body in gentle awareness, allowing myself to be open to all sensations or even the absence of sensation. With my next out breath, I let go of my right lower leg and, with an in breath, shift my attention to my right knee, including the kneecap. I notice any sensations, whether from the surface of my skin or deep inside the joint. I simply observe whatever is present without judgment. On my next out breath, I release my awareness of my knee and, with my next in breath, bring my attention to my right thigh. I sense its full length, noticing any sensations arising from my skin or from deep within the muscle. I observe relaxation, lightness, heaviness, tension, softness. Whatever is present, I allow myself to simply be with it. Letting go of my right thigh, I now bring my awareness along with my breath to my pelvis and lower abdomen. I feel where my buttocks make contact with the floor or the chair. I notice my right hip and my left hip, sensing their presence. This is an area of my body that holds the organs of reproduction and elimination, and I allow myself to simply be with this space. I breathe in and out gently, noticing any sensations that may be arising here. If strong sensations emerge, I remind myself that I can always return my attention to my breath as an anchor, grounding myself in the present. When I feel ready, I gently bring my focus back to the sensations in my lower abdomen and pelvis, allowing them to simply be. Now I let go of my focus on my lower abdomen and pelvis and bring my attention to my lower back. I may sense an arch in my lower back, or perhaps I feel its contact with the floor or chair. I acknowledge whatever is present. This area of my body may hold tension, and I let myself be with it if I can, continuing to breathe as I did before. With my next out breath, I release my awareness of my lower back and bring my attention to the entire length of my spine. As I rest here, breathing in and out, I notice any areas of tension, ease, pain, comfort, or even subtle vibration. With each exhale, I let go, allowing myself to soften into this awareness. Now I let go of my focus on my spine, and with my next in breath, I shift my attention to my belly, to the region of my abdomen. I pause for a moment, noticing the natural rise and fall of my belly as I breathe in and out. I steady my attention here, fully present with the physical sensations arising in this space, awake and aware. Gently, I move my attention and my breath up into my chest. Here I may become aware of the beating of my heart and the movement of my ribs as they expand and contract with each breath. I do not need to change anything. I simply allow myself to be open to all that is arising. I notice my entire torso, my chest moving naturally with my breath. I take a moment to rest in this awareness, fully present. Sometimes, as I hold my body in stillness, I become acutely aware of a region that may be painful in some way. If this happens, I bring my attention to that area, breathing into it and then breathing out from it. I soften into the sensation and let go as best I can. I may choose to pay close attention to the sensations in this area, observing them with curiosity. Sometimes it may be helpful to intentionally move, noticing the movements as I make them. And then, when I feel ready, returning to my original position. In this way, I honor my body's needs and work wisely with what is possible in this moment. With my next out breath, I let go of my torso and chest, and with my in breath, move my focus up into my left shoulder, then down the length of my left arm, bringing my attention into the fingers of my left hand. I take a moment here to notice any sensations that may be arising in this part of my body. I release my focus from my fingers and shift my attention to the back of my left hand and the palm, including my left wrist. I take another moment here, staying curious and gently exploring any sensations, whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Letting go of the back of my hand, the palm, and my wrist, I take a deep in breath and bring my awareness into my forearm and left elbow. I take a moment to explore any sensations appearing in this space, steadying my attention as I breathe. With my next out breath, I release my left forearm and elbow, and with an in breath, I shift my attention up into my upper arm and left shoulder. I steady my awareness here, noticing any sensations that arise. I observe the length of my upper arm, the sense of weight, and any sensations from the surface of my skin. I bring my attention to my left shoulder, the front, the back, and the side, including the armpit, allowing myself to fully experience this moment. On my next out breath, I release my left upper arm and shoulder, then bring my attention across my upper chest to my right shoulder. I follow the length of my right arm all the way down to my fingers. I study my awareness here, simply noticing. I remain open and curious about whatever arises, holding a gentle and kind presence as I explore the sensations in my fingers. If I notice thoughts arising, I let them go and gently return to the sensations of my body, resting in this awareness. On my out breath, I let go of the fingers of my right hand and, with my in breath, bring my attention to the back of my hand, my palm, and my wrist. I take a moment here to notice and become aware of any sensations that may be arising. Now I shift my attention from the back of my hand, my palm, and my wrist, moving up into my right forearm, including my right elbow. I take a moment here, simply noticing whatever is present. With my next out breath, I release my awareness of my right forearm and elbow, and with my in breath, I bring my attention into my right upper arm and right shoulder. I take these next few moments to observe any sensations, resting quietly, awake and aware. I hold a gentle and open hearted awareness as I breathe, allowing whatever arises to simply be. With my next out breath, I release my right shoulder and bring my awareness to both shoulders and my shoulder blades. I notice what sensations may be arising as I lie here, gently breathing and paying attention. On my out breath, I let go of my shoulders and shoulder blades and bring my attention to my throat and neck. I soften and release as best I can, noticing any sensations, perhaps tension, softness, warmth, or coolness. I allow myself to simply be present with whatever is here. Now, with my next out breath, I let go of the area of my throat and neck and move my awareness, along with my breath, into my face and head. I sense my jaw, my chin, my lips, and my mouth, my teeth, my tongue, the roof of my mouth, the floor and sides of my mouth, my cheeks, my nose and nostrils, my eyes, my eyelids, my eye sockets, my eyebrows and the space between my eyebrows, my forehead, the sides of my head, and my ears. I recognize that I use the muscles of my face many times during the day to express emotions and thoughts. Now I allow myself this opportunity to release any tension and simply be present. With my next out breath, I choose to gently release my attention and awareness of the sensations arising in my face. I move my awareness along with my breath to the back of my head, my scalp, and the roots of my hair. I take a moment to notice the weight of my head and, if I'm lying down, the contact it makes with the floor beneath me. Now I bring my awareness to the full length and breadth of my body lying here, from my head all the way down to my toes, including my arms. I notice the weight of my body and the points of contact with the surface beneath me. I feel my body and the movement of my breath, aware as I lie or sit here. I recognize a sense of completeness and wholeness, just as I am. I allow this presence to deepen, resting in this quiet space. I experience a state of relaxed awareness and openness to things just as they are. I remind myself that this acceptance and stillness can be healing as I remain here, awake and at peace. I remember that this state of clarity and open awareness is always available to me. At any moment, I can bring my attention to my breath and my body, no matter what is happening in my day. My breath and body are sources of strength, balance, and well being. As I come to the end of this body scan exercise, I take a few deeper breaths. If my eyes have been closed, I gently open them. Or if my gaze had been softened, I begin to widen it. I take in the surroundings of the room, slowly reconnecting with the present space. I begin to move my body in any way that feels comfortable, stretching my arms and legs, wiggling my fingers and toes. If I've been lying down, when I feel ready, I roll over onto my right side, pausing here for a moment. Then I gently transition into a sitting position, noticing the movement itself as part of my practice. I remain aware of the sensations in my body as I prepare to carry this presence and mindfulness into the next moments of my day. This is the end of the guided body scan.